Hi guys. I'm gonna try to finish up what we started in class, uh, and part of this is I have here data from another time. Let's see, and what do we? Yeah, standard deviation, but this is standard deviation. It's the wrong one actually. Now that I look at it. And right, each one of us only doing one cylinder. And we happen to do 4 times here. Okay, but anyways, we did 3. So let's get back to this. So let's review. You've got now your measurements, and everything's in millimeters, which is a drag because over here it's in centimeters for these known amounts, but we'll work on that some more in another video. Right now, let's get the basics done so that we can be ready to have a meaningful discussion next time we get together. Okay, so I'm going to pause this a moment. I need some other file open and ready. You didn't see any hiccups there, but I just realized the best way to do this is to show you where it is. I'll cancel that, I suppose. And gosh, it's funny, right? It was so hot in class, and right now it's hot here at my desk in my house. And of course, this is fighting me. Oh, right, so there we go. I'm going to be leaving for my surgery in a little while, as soon as I finish this. So what we need here is, excuse me, we're going to find resources. Oh, useful info, we want this file here. And there's a table, and these formulas that we're going to see in this table are exactly like what you'll see in the lab manual. And of course, now that thing is taking its sweet time to load. I'm leaning over here and getting my drawing tablet. So I'm just going to click on it here, and it'll download. Hold on here, I got to pause. Okay, so I didn't notice that it worked. So now you see there's this table, and it should look, if you look in the lab manual, you'll see these things here. So what we're dealing with is things that are multiplied together and divided, although you'll notice the formula is the same when it comes to those different operations. And so let's do a snip here. Oh, look at that. It's already still there. Yep. Okay. So I'll just, because, I'm doing several labs this semester, and we're doing similar exercises. So now I'm going to paste this here. So now I have it available to me, and I can make it a little smaller. So whenever you need to understand how to figure out, calculate your error on your number, you go to this table. And so I remind you that when you put the plus minus divided by the quantity, which is the sigma is the plus minus, and the obviously the quantity itself is the quantity, like sigma A over A, and I'm trying to multitask again, and I need to set full screen. Maybe you see this. I'm trying to set up my tablet so I can have this so I can write on it. Well, so you guys, when I write on it, it shows up. What happens is it was right. I have 2 monitors, and it was writing on the other screen. Oh, there we go. Okay, so if I want to multiply 2 things together, then I use this formula, And so you have sigma A over A, that's the relative error in A. And basically what you do is you just adapt, you look for the one that matches your situation. And maybe I'm going a little too fast and jumping ahead, but now it's ready. So we have now our measurements we made, and I formatted everything, excuse me, and I took my average. There's the average. So, you could pause the video a moment so you could see the formula. And then this is the more important one, the standard deviation of the sample, which for now we're just doing it. And it's basically just tells us these numbers, how much they vary back and forth. And if we didn't have a way of estimating the error, that's what we would do. But just exposing you to this, and then when you quote the standard error, you divide by the square root of the number of measurements. Now, we do have an ability to estimate the error on our measurements, so the standard deviation is not critical. And we're going to do a lab where it will be critical, and so I'm just exposing it to you. Yeah, that's correct English. So I can take the average of the plus minuses, and to get the final error, once again, I divide by the square root of 3, because there's 3 measurements. So at the end of the day, we improve our plus minus slightly, as you see here. And so I go through, and I've done it on all the measurements, and so here, once again, this is a mistake, I believe, because if we quoted 0.01 centimeters, then we have to say it's 0.1 millimeters. So I'm just going to do that here. And you, of course, put in what's required for yours. And then, 0.02, we knew that with the caliper. And, let me show you some things here I could do to clean this up a little bit. So let's see, diameter, length. So this is the caliper measurements, but it's not in the right place. So I'm going to highlight those. I'm going to click Insert, and I'm going to choose Shift it to the right. So now we have that under caliper where we want it. And then let's see how this looks. No, micrometer is not quite right. So we're going to hit here now, delete, and Shift cells left. And now everybody's lined up the way it's supposed to be. And here, looks like I need to insert here. And, you can't see this. Hold on. I realize I got to move it over a little bit. So I've selected those, and I'm going to hit Insert, and I'm going to shift those to the right. That didn't work very well, did it? Well, we don't care about that. I'm going to undo it. We don't really care too much about that just yet. It's good enough to leave that there. I wanted to get rid of these borders so it just looks a little cleaner and obvious what we're doing. No border. Okay, great. And then, of course, these now don't have any borders, so I'll get all picky and OCD about it. And there we go. All right, so let's see what we got. We have 0.02, and the calipers, right? That's all. Those are right. And one by one, we had to go back and adjust the number of sig figs. And so, for example, with the calipers, this is millimeters. Okay, so that's good. The number of decimal places correct there, and number of decimal places correct there, and nice. So, it's all right to add that extra digit because now with the divide by this, taking the average and divide by the square root of 3, we get a better plus minus, and that's valid. All right, good. Then we started transferring by hand all the different numbers from up above, and we had to one by one adjust the number of sig figs. Okay, so then we came up with the volume, and now how do we get the plus minus volume? So we look in here, and the one that comes closest, because remember, in this case, the volume for a cylinder equals pi r squared times the length. So what we have is AB. Now we could say AB happens to be r squared and L, but and that's perfectly fine. But what we're going to do is say R times L, and in that case, then and by the way, we don't deal with anything that says AB. That's if the two errors are related to each other, but they're not. Our measurements are all independent of each other. So what we have to do then is, as I wrote on the chalkboard, sigma r little radius over radius, sigma r over r again, and then sigma L over L, which sigma again means plus minus. And notice that the quantity, in this case the volume, originally this is written with the F down below here, but if we want to get the plus minus, we just moved it up here to get the plus minus. And the other wrinkle, as we discussed in class, is that we have a diameter with a plus minus diameter. So we have to change that to be a radius. And so that's just going to make our lives a little bit harder, but that's life. Okay. And so, in fact, I think what I'm going to do is to make it a little bit easier to follow along. I am going to insert here. And do I need to really do that? Yeah, I need space. I need some room. Okay, insert. And if I shift cells to right, it's going to look like crap. Ah, right. Here's what we do. First, we insert. Oh, that'll mess things up too. There we go. Let's insert here. In fact, I think I'm going to pause for a little bit. Insert right. And then once I'm done, I'll review what I did. All right, so I realized I was just going to create a plus minus R column, but I realized that we need to do better than that. So let's do another insert. Shift cells to the right. Now I have two more there. So now for the ruler, whoops, I want to cover everything for the ruler. And so now I've selected those cells, and let's see, where is the, oh, I can right mouse click, I think. And I'm looking for merge and center. And I don't know why I don't see it. Ah, here we go. Merge and center. And there it is. I don't know why I had it twice. Okay, so then the caliper, I think I want to, no, we don't want to get too fancy, so I've got to insert one more here, and insert shift cells right. So now I'm going to have what I want there, and in fact, I'm going to unmerge these two. There we go. And that's not merged. Good. So I can see where I could have done a better job of setting up, but ahead of time, that's life. You know, this is something you're going to have to deal with if you do your own spreadsheets. So I said insert. I want to delete, actually. Delete. and shift the cells left. So now my caliper, but oh, that was dumb. I needed those two, all right? So now I can extend caliper to cover everything, merge twice, there's caliper, and then we lost micrometer, but that's okay. So I'm going to clear the contents out of here, there. So now I'm going to insert two here. Yep. Insert, shift cells right. So let's see, caliper covers that. Then this is the micrometer here. So I merge and center. And then micrometer. And somehow we have to shift these guys back over. So I'm going to delete this. This is a mess, but these are things you're just going to have to learn how to do eventually. So we'll just throw you in the water here. Length, and so this is now going to be the scale. Yeah. Or the balance, but we've been calling it a scale. Okay, so that was pane. So we have R, and then we need the apostrophe plus minus R. And of course, somehow that B got in there. And that's interesting. I don't know how that happens. And so delete. We have to hit the down button, delete. Wow. I don't know what's going on. I'll hit the escape key, and now I can just do clear contents. There we go. So this equals, of course, the diameter divided by 2. And it's also, the plus minus is just going to be the plus minus divided by 2. Which, there must be something about the rounding going on. That's why they look the same. And now we can drag that down. And we can also copy over. We want to do the average of the R's. Paste. And then copy and paste. And then we need to add a decimal place so we can see. Wow, isn't that amazing? Excuse me. But if you think about it for a minute, I haven't changed the relative error. Okay. So we do a similar thing here. Oops. And we don't have to change the volume calculation. We already did because, if you recall, we created the radius on the fly, but we don't have to worry about that. So now I go paste, and then I can fill it in. And then here, the averaging, I can just copy paste. And that's done. And let's see, ruler. Oh, calipers. In fact, no, I don't want to. Have to be a little clever about this. I can just copy. No, I want the heading too. I can copy these guys. Copy, and I just paste it here. And yeah. Great. Just make sure it's doing what I expect it's doing. Yeah. Nice. All right. So as I said, we don't have to do anything to what we've already done. We just have to put in what's our plus minus volume. And at the end of the day, the plus minus volume is, let's see, this video has gotten to be 20 minutes, so I'm going to stop it and restart a new one.